If there's one thing Aussies love, it's getting out and exploring our very own backyard. But where do you go? How do you do it? Welcome to Ready for Adventure. This series joined myself, Karl Langdon, Nova's Ross Wallman, outdoors expert Emma George, and Daniela Pola, taking you around the state, highlighting the best ways to get out for your next adventure. On today's show, have you ever heard of the Derbarl Yerrigan? Danny investigates how it's been connecting people for thousands of years.
People would come for ceremonies on either side. They would have to sit around here and wait and camp and wait for the signal to be invited across.
I spend a day at a premium destination for white water. I love the peace and quiet of the WA outback. And Ross is after the perfect picture postcard.
And last but not least, the Perth icon, that is Kings Park. Overlooking the city for that picture, perfect photograph.
Winter is on its way, Perth, and while some shudder at the thought of the cold weather, it's the perfect time for some outdoor adventure, especially if you've got the right gear. Today we're heading to the Avon Valley for a few days camping with the boys. On the way, we thought we'd drop into one of our iconic spots, Bells Rapids. Bells Rapids is about 40 kilometres from Perth and is the prime spot for viewing WA's annual Avon Descent whitewater race. But it's also a popular spot for hikes, bushwalking, and of course, watching the rapids in the right season. I'll tell you what, I love camping at this time of the year. Heading out with no signal, setting up the camper, lighting a log fire. I love the peace and quiet of the WA outback. This time around, I'm fully set up with my Sun Chaser camper trailer, which I picked up from the guys at Caravan Camper Megastore. These campers are perfect for a solo trip and are made to go anywhere. Another thing I love about heading outdoors, meeting people. You two look pretty comfy there.
Oh, g'day, mate. How are you?
Really well. Where are you headed?
Oh, just around the Avon Valley for a bit of a look.
Magnificent. I'm going up there for a couple of nights myself. Nice RV.
Oh, first class travel at best, mate. You
Can I have a look inside?
Of course you can, mate. Please, come and have a look. Bloody beautiful.
The Luxury Traveller RV is an Aussie quality build with all the mod cons to make it a first-class travel experience. With loads of storage, 4-seat dining, queen-size bed, front loader washing machine, aircon, shower and toilet, just to name a few brilliant features and options available. Both the Sun Chaser and Traveller are available at Caravan and Camping Megastore. If you're ready to wander out yonder and want to get out on the road, head to Caravan and Camper Megastore and check out their website to see what they have in stock and get yourself ready for adventure. And I'll tell you what, if you want to avoid scammers or strangers coming to your house, this is the best way to sell any RV. Plus you get peace of mind working with professionals. Why would you bother selling privately?
Some of the best tips to organise your travelling kit come from people that are already on the road, using the accessories and gear. Today I'm down in Mandurah and I'm going to catch up with a mate that's just installed the Maxliner product range onto his ute, and I'm keen to take a look. The first thing that I noticed was the slide. How good is that?
Oh, Emma, it's great. You just slide out that tray and anything at the very front, you can easily get it out. No leaning over, no sore backs. I love it.
How much can it hold?
It can hold 250 kilos. It's got 4 tie-down points, which really hold everything down. So on the roughest terrain, everything stays right where it is.
It really allows you to maximise your cargo space. Is it permanent?
They sure are. They're stuck on a rail system which is bolted straight to the tray, so it does not move.
Is the bedliner part of the range as well?
It is. It's one of the toughest on the market, and we carry a lot of gear, so it really is a compromise trying to protect that tray. It's really easy to install. It's a DIY, no drilling required, and it goes in dead easy.
What's your favourite accessory in the Maxliner range?
Oh, Emma, by far, it's the canopy. It protects all my kit from the weather. It's just great. It's made from a hard plastic, so it's very durable, and the internal frame is metal, so you can actually put roof racks on the top. And it's lockable with central locking, so it's brilliant.
This one's in black, but does it come in any other colours?
Yeah, it comes in all sorts of colours. So if you've got a pink ute, you can have it in pink. It comes in any factory colour for any ute. Hey Emma, there's one last thing I want to show you. I've got these floor mats that protect the car from your kids. I know they're messy, but these ones are a one-piece unit and you can wash them straight out.
As you could see, I could talk all day about off-roading and four-wheel drive accessories, but there's other adventures to be had. If you want to check out the Maxliner range or find stockers, check out this website.
With international travel not on the cards at the moment, there's nothing like a local adventure. I think we've got the best places right here in WA anyway. So pack whatever you need. I need coffee, and let's go camping. Nestled in the hills is a perfect oasis known as Lake Leschenoltia. This 168-hectare bushland is well known for its swimming, cycling, canoeing, and of course, camping. So with people being super keen, booking out caravan parks months in advance, last-minuters like myself, maybe you, can still come to places like Lake Leschenoltia and set up shop. This place has everything I need for a camping weekend, including barbecue facilities. And what's an Aussie trip without a barbie? The lake is pretty idyllic too, and the perfect spot for freshwater swimming or kayaking. Plus the practical things like toilet blocks, firewood, in case you forgot yours, and a camp kitchen. And one less practical thing, the peace of the outdoors. And I'm no twitcher, but I hear there's some pretty incredible bird life here as well. Or for those who are extra keen and have packed the bikes, there is 10 kilometres of off-road bush cycle trails. So for me, it's about relaxing, sitting down, switching off. And Lake Leschenoltia, just one of the many places in the hills you can go camping. Matter of fact, all around WA. So next time everything's booked out, highly recommend doing something like this.
Every week on Ready for Adventure, I'll be sharing my boating safety tips. And this week's tip is making sure that your engine is in good working order, making sure that there is water flowing through the motor, cooling it down. The most important part, though, is once you've had that salt water flowing through your engine, when you return to shore, make sure that you clean it out with nice fresh water, saving it from corrosion and salt damage and making sure that it's ready for your next fishing trip. And if you want to be part of the boating community, the Boating Industry Association run a Rottnest Safety Convoy to Rottnest Island in November. It's where you learn to navigate all the bays, which can be a little bit tricky, particularly if you are new to boating. If you go to this website, you can find out all the details.
I love getting out on the water, taking the family in the boat for a fish, a snorkel, or even a picnic or an island hop. There is nothing better. The seagrass beds in Coburn Sound are a great spot to try your hand at catching some squid or fish. You can try from the shore, or even better in style, from a boat just like this. This boat is powered by twin 300 horsepower Suzukis, pushing us along at a top speed of around 46 knots, more than enough power to get us to some great fishing spots. Now let's talk marinisation. It is nothing to do with food and everything to do with those. When you're out on the water, what you need is a reliable motor, or in this case, two, because if these aren't going, you're not going. Reliability and durability are key. For those of you who don't know, marinisation is the design of products for use in salty, corrosive marine environments. Suzuki Motors have designed a whole range of engines from 2.5 to 350 horsepower so you can maximise your enjoyment time out on the water. Real-time computer tech and sensors combine to optimise fuel delivery. It's called lean burn technology, and it can deliver savings of up to 45%. I'll give you an example. With these Suzuki motors, they are so economical that I can get to Roto and back, even at top speed, for less than the cost of 2 ferry tickets. And one of my bugbears about engines is sometimes they can be really noisy and smelly and give off a lot of smoke, but not with the Suzukis. They are so quiet, you wouldn't even know that they're on. We've dropped anchor at a nice protected spot here in the Sound. So here goes, see if I can catch lunch. Squid are actually really easy to catch, and there's nothing nicer than fresh calamari. So what I've done is just a little rod, and I've cast my squid jig over to the weed and just give a little bit of a wind, stop, and hopefully I might be able to get some lunch. This is the life. I've got my rod in the water, I'm only 15 minutes from the boat ramp, and look at this peaceful, quiet bay. If you'd like to do exactly this, go see the guys at Suzuki Marine.
Our friends at Westcorp Capital are bringing you tips every week for buying your next boat. This week's tip is use your boat as security for your loan, not your car or your house, as your boat is more stable security for the loan than a car, and your house is your nest egg, an emergency funding source for the unforeseen in life. Use Westcorp Capital for your boat finance, and we will pay your first year BIAWA membership for you. Getting out onto the water is something that many West Aussies love, and the Department of Transport and Bureau of Meteorology want you to do it safely. And you should always check the weather, particularly the swell and the wave height. The total wave height is created by adding the sea waves and the swell. And as the wave height increases, so does the difficulty in navigating a boat and the comfort. More and more boaters are getting into trouble, and in some cases capsizing because they are too close to reef or in shallow water. Skippers need to be aware and prepared to deal with waves twice the height of the average of the marine forecast. If you think your boat can handle a 2-metre wave, then it's important to focus on a 1-metre marine forecast. Just remember, if you go out in a 2-metre wave, you've got to be aware that wave heights could reach 4 metres. A little bit like if you're a surfer on a beach and you're waiting for that larger swell. That's the best way to describe it. Just remember, you're the skipper, you're responsible.
We are blessed here in WA with our seemingly endless coastline stretching for 10,000 kilometres to our rugged outback full of hidden gems. There certainly is no shortage of picture postcard locations. So I thought I'd share my favourite spots around Perth for the ultimate Insta-pick. So first up, cannot go past Cottesloe Beach, arguably one of the most iconic beaches in all of WA, where generations of West Aussies have spent their summer right here in the delightfully blue waters, and what a sunset it has as well. Known to the locals as Cot, you can spend your time under the shady Norfolk pines, relax on the grass tiers, or hang on the white sands by the water. Right on the doorstep to Perth CBD is Elizabeth Quay. It has reconnected the city with the Swan River, housing a number of entertainment and leisure facilities. It's a great spot to take a walk and see a number of art installations, starting with this one, Spander, which represents ripples linking the river, city and sky. The kids can take a ride on the carousel, parents can refresh at the Reveille or make it a staycation in style. And last but not least, the Perth icon, that is Kings Park, overlooking the city for that picture perfect photograph. One of the few places that has a unique green space right in the heart of the city. Here you can take a wander through the Botanic Gardens with over 3,000 species of the state's native flora. There are bushland walk trails, play spaces for the kids, a range of events throughout the year, galleries, cafes, and it is the best spot for a family picnic. So there you go. Feel free to get out there, discover and create your very own Perth picture album.
I don't know about you, but when I'm getting ready for an adventure, I like to get a full picture of where I'm going, the history of the place, and I like to know about the people that were there before me. Going that little bit deeper than a Google search can really change the experience and bring you closer to a place. Now, many of us have explored the Swan River, but have you been to the Derbarl Yerrigan? Nick Abraham is an expert on this body of water. He runs walking tours along its shores, starting from right next to Perth Stadium. So Nick, long before Europeans even saw this river, it was actually at the heart of a thriving community, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. A lot of our people have camped around this area and they use this area for ceremonies, camping, hunting, fishing, gathering around here and courtships. It was interesting that this part of Noongar country was the Bilya people. And on the other side, the natural barrier here was the Derbarl Yerrigan, the Swan River. And that's the natural barrier between the Bilya people and the Wanneroo people on the other side. And then when people would come for ceremonies on either side, they would have to sit around here and wait and camp and wait for the signal to be invited across. Now, a lot of our people would sit here and they'd wait for weeks or days waiting for that signal, and vice versa. And when the signal come, what do you think? How do you think the signal would have come for them to be invited into the other side, or vice versa?
I don't know, was it tribal music? I don't know, something like that.
Just look straight in from your nose. What's under your nose?
Oh, the fire.
Fire. So it's the fire and the smoke. That would be like opening the door and say, we're ready for you now, it's time to come in. And so they would travel across a place called Warrang-Bridil, which is just over there where the water was only knee deep.
How amazing. So much respect for one another in that story.
It was, and our laws have come from our point of view from the beginning of time, through the great rainbow serpent and all the spiritual ancestors that created our world. And it was our responsibility as man to look after our environment.
The tour runs for around 2 hours, winding its way along the edge of the river, with lessons on everything from cultural knowledge, relationships and social structure. While footy and recreation are the main focus where we're walking, it wasn't that long ago that this river was a real lifeblood.
From our Dreamtime story is that the rainbow serpent, the waggle, when the earth was soft, it weaved its way through Noongar country. And as it weaved its way through and the earth was soft, it created little valleys. It came back into the ocean and then it sent out the rain. It sent out the rain over to the country and it'll rain on Noongar country and nourish Noongar country. And the excess would run off back down through the creeks and streams and back into the river. Now, that's water. Man can't live without water. So as Noongar people, we acknowledge the rainbow serpent for giving us an element for survival. And his story around continuing that process for us is that we'll always see when it rains a rainbow in the sky. So that's his way of telling us that I'm going to still look after Noongar country. But we as Noongar people still have our responsibility of looking after country here.
The tour runs full circle back to where it all began, and I feel like there's so much more that I could learn.
And that's the idea about it. There's so much to learn. We only see things on face value. I've only taken you through 2 hours of this journey today, but I've only given you a tip of the iceberg of 50,000+ years of history. At the end of this tour, you do a smoking ceremony.
Okay.
Now, smoking ceremony is part of cleansing and getting rid of the negative energy that we pick up all around this place, and inviting the positive energy to walk with us as we leave this place. And that's a simple little process, like us having the fire and putting the smoke on. And there's a few little chosen words that many of our people that do this will say. Warrang-Bridil, negative energy, leave quickly. Warrang-Bridil. So the positive energy, we're inviting the positive energy to come and walk with us as you walk away to our new learning and new understanding.
How would you like to be the envy of your mates by owning your very own My Cool Man 30-litre fridge with battery and cover valued at $1,613? It's the perfect piece of kit for your next adventure. To win, all you need to do is get the code word from today's show and enter it via our website. Good luck. That's all we have time for this week. If you want to know any of the info about any of the stories you have seen, visit our website or drop us a line on Facebook or Instagram. Don't forget to keep an eye out for the next issue of the Ready for Adventure magazine. Tune in and join us next week for more Ready for Adventure.